Hello, my name is Kavita Melwani, and I'm a Master Certified Success and Business Coach with 2 decades of experience as an entrepreneur and almost a decade as a coach. I want to personally welcome you to the Soulful Entrepreneurs Club podcast, where my vision is to empower as many spiritually led businesses to run purposeful and profitable businesses aligned with their true selves. I want you to confidently and opulently shine your light without the overwhelm, the stress, or the burnout. Together, we will explore challenges that soulful entrepreneurs face and real implementable solutions so you can step into your unique purpose and shine. It is possible to bridge the success you already have with the truest, soulful, mystical parts of yourself. Are you ready to rise up as the leader you were born to be? Then join me, my soulful friends. The time is now for you to rise up and shine your light. The world needs you. Hello, soulful entrepreneurs. Welcome to this week's episode. So, have you ever wondered what somatic coaching is? So, if you have, then this episode is for you. I'm going to be talking more about somatic coaching, how it could benefit you. It is really powerful if you have been feeling really stuck, okay? And you've tried a lot of things and none of them seem to be working. And so if you've heard my episodes before, you hear me talking about and discussing the subconscious mind and how the subconscious mind controls 90+% of our behavior, and that the way to make lasting change, to move past areas in our life or business or work that we're stuck, is through the working with the subconscious mind. And there are many ways to do that. I have been training on different ways over the last several years, and recently have added somatic coaching. And I've been training on using it and practicing, and have been also now using it with clients and have been seeing some wonderful results. So I wanted to share more about that, whether it's something that you decide to maybe explore with me or with someone else. But I know that for a long time I was really curious as to what exactly somatic coaching was, how it worked, what it could help with. And so that's what I'm going to talk about more today. So as I started saying, it does help with you to help you move past blocks, especially things that you've had for a long time. If there are patterns that have been coming up, maybe those patterns are in the same area of your life, or maybe they're in, different areas. So one pattern could be that you are always, a lot of us tend to have this tendency of people pleasing, okay? So there's a people pleasing pattern, and maybe you've worked on that pattern and you've overcome people pleasing in friendships, for instance. Now, if you've overcome that in friendships, that pattern may still be showing up at work, or with your business, or in your relationship at home, or maybe with loved ones. And so then you can then proceed to work on it with that next area. But then it's still in the other areas, and maybe it's getting stronger in a different area that it didn't happen before. That's kind of like what can be referred to as the whack-a-mole approach, right? So you're working on that external behavior pattern and improving it, and it does make a difference. But then that pattern is still there in so many areas of your life. And so that's where this type of work, where we work on the subconscious mind, comes in. And somatic work is working through the body. Okay. And so this is really good for people that are thinkers, right? And so I would fall in that category. I'm a person that thinks a lot. And so when people talk about feeling, yes, I have deep feeling too. But my coping mechanism has been and I figured this out over the last couple of years, that has been my coping mechanism, is to use my brain to figure things out. And that's what makes me feel like I'm in control of things and makes me feel like I'm safe. Okay. And so then when I'm starting to feel something, I start to think about that feeling and try to figure out that feeling and why I feel that way in an attempt to improve it. And that really doesn't work well. What's going to work well is actually to go to that feeling. And that feeling, if you don't work with it, it stays in your body. And the body is actually the bridge to the subconscious mind. And some people say is the subconscious mind. So then, that experience it stays in your body, then it gets into your subconscious mind and impacts your behavior. And that's been happening for me. And so I've been working to unravel some of those patterns, some of those things that, where I've been taught, like, just suck it up and move on, right? Don't dwell on this emotion. It was seen as weak or not becoming if I was expressing any emotion. So it became safer for me to, if I feel something, don't express it, don't show it, and instead put on a pleasant demeanor, a pleasant expression, and continue onwards. And so over time, I've earned the reputation and the persona of being nice and kind and calm and put together in situations, which is, I'm not saying not true. It's just that sometimes that's at the expense of me wanting to express or needing to express some emotion in certain scenarios. So, but I had this conditioning and being, conditioned to believe that that was better, right? It was better for my survival if I didn't express the emotion. And in fact, I was rewarded by being complimented for that ability. And I've actually been able to use the ability to stay calm, grounded, and centered in a situation despite what's going on. Of course, not 100% of the time, but often, to help me with so many things in my life. So it's not a bad behavior per se. It's when it's taken to an extreme. So then my work has been to access those emotions, to access emotions in moments and allow myself to feel them. And maybe it's not appropriate in that specific moment, but soon after, giving myself time and space to feel. And because it's been challenging on my own, I need support through visualizations, through processing, through coaching, through through help. It's like I need help with it. And so when I started to realize that this is something that was helping me, I started to want to learn how to do that to help others. And that's where I became interested in the somatic processing. So the way that it works is you work on the emotion, and through the emotion in your body, wherever it leads you in the session. And you can move some of that through your mind, helping you to process the emotion, but it's more of the feeling sense, right? And you can also use some movement. You can also use breath work, right, to help move that emotion. And so I've been, working on receiving breath work, and also providing some during sessions for clients. And so this work is really powerful, and I'm so excited that I'm able to not only receive that type of support, but also provide that type of support for my clients, right? Because although people come to me because of something external that's not working, right? They want to improve their business, they're burnt out, and they need to create a system, or they need to figure out how to attract more clients, or in what really is underneath all that and why that pattern is showing up. If we can work on that, when we work on that, and then do strategy, and then work on the external, then the results are long lasting, and they don't show up, that same pattern doesn't show up somewhere else. Like, really think about that whole whack-a-mole idea, right? So it's your choice. Like, if there's just one area of your life that a certain behavior pattern is bothering you, then Do the work on your thoughts, do the work on your behaviors, holding yourself accountable to changing things like last week I talked about the 1%, changing 1% at a time, and do that. But if there is such a pattern, a behavior pattern that's impacting multiple areas of your life, and you just are done with it, and you know that if you can move past it, that it can make a difference, or it just seems like, no matter what you do in one area or in one aspect, you keep hitting similar roadblocks. It's like you're going around it, but it's the same kind of pattern showing up again and again. Then I would recommend you look up some kind of subconscious work, some maybe somatic work, and get someone to help you with that. Now, a couple things. If you've had major trauma that is not processed, then I would not recommend that you start with somatic work. I would recommend that you process that trauma with someone that's trained to work with big T trauma, and then potentially look into the somatic work. And, if you have had trauma and you've worked through it and you feel ready, then you can probably look up a coach that is trained. I would really recommend that you find someone that's trained, because I've seen how powerful this work can be. So if you find someone that's trained in that, and then you can, from there, work on this block and move forward and see the changes internally first and then externally. So good luck with that. And if you want to reach out to me, and even if you don't want a consultation, but you just want to know about this and you're curious to see if it's something that would help you, let's talk. I'd love to connect with you. In the meantime, take good care. Bye.